From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. After a week-long trial, a Fort Wainwright soldier has been found guilty of the forcible rape of a child on the military post.
According to a released specialist, Nicholas Markham was convicted on July 10th. The victim was reportedly between the ages of 12 and 16. Now, the jury sentenced Markham to 20 years confinement, reduction in rank to a private, and to be dishonorably discharged from the service. Army spokesman John Pennell said the rape occurred in May of 2014 on the post. Markham was also charged with providing alcohol to a minor.
A fire this afternoon in South Fairbanks. Several fire units responded to the call about 4 p.m. The blaze appeared to be in the roof of the building in the 2100 block of Judd Street off South Cushman. The long single-story structure reportedly housed several businesses. Firefighters from both the City of Fairbanks and the University Fire Department were at the scene of the blaze across from wholesale furniture. Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
A 22-year-old woman riding a bicycle was hit by a truck earlier today near the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Alaska State Troopers, University Police, and UAF Fire responded to the accident at the intersection of University Avenue and College Road. The cyclist was hit in the crosswalk by a vehicle traveling westbound on College Road, according to Alaska State Troopers. The victim was transported for further medical care by EMS to treat non-life-threatening injuries and appeared conscious and alert when troopers arrived on scene. Alaska State Trooper Brian Wassman says first responders don't believe confusion caused by construction in the area was the source of the accident, which is still under investigation.
No, it doesn't look like it. The construction is, quite a ways east of here. We think it was just a case of driver inattention, but we're still trying to sort that out. We have several witnesses that we're talking to, and we're going to sort that out. She was conscious and alert with some injuries when she was transported by EMS, but it's a survivable crash.
As the defense attorney for a woman accused of murdering her toddler son awaits an answer from the Court of Appeals, they have begun to seek records that they say could implicate another person in the murder. That answer could allow the defense team of 25-year-old Lynn Swanson to enter a lie detector test that they say she passed. Swanson has been incarcerated after authorities say her 18-month-old son died from blunt force trauma to the head. The boy was brought into the hospital with what appeared to be frostbite. The medical examiner later determined the child suffered from thermal burns. Court documents allege investigating officers found a propane torch on the floorboard of Swanson's car. Today, her attorney, Bill Satterberg, asked the Superior Court to allow the defense access to records from the Office of Children's Services. He said the defense intended to argue that child was likely murdered by Swanson's boyfriend, who was charged in connection to the case but pled out last year.
Maintained that there's a high likelihood that this crime was committed by Robert Crosby. And we've certainly made no secret about that. There's been child custody issues 2 or 3 times where children have been taken because of apparently harm that may have occurred to children while either by Mr. Crosby or while in his care or with people that he lives with or associates with. This is all very relevant information which may provide not only impeachment, but it may also provide a strong indication of maybe what really did happen in this matter, that maybe Julian was not killed by his mother, but rather by his mother's boyfriend.
Fires in Alaska have burned more than 4.7 million acres. Today, the 2015 wildfire season is that much closer to breaking the record set in 2004, which saw nearly 6.2 million acres burned. Currently, we are at the 4th largest fire season on record. The Aggie Creek fire, 30 miles north of Fairbanks, is seeing low fire activity thanks to rain and cooler weather. Near the village of Tanana, the Spicer Creek fire is still threatening structures. Crews there are working on protecting homes and drawing fire lines to prevent damage. Fires near the Galena area have had the most activity.
Okay, when we come back, Interior Delegation legislators were not painting a pretty picture of the state's economy. We'll tell you what they said at today's chamber luncheon.
Also, with all the smoke recently, many folks with respiratory problems have been looking for relief. Fairbanks Memorial Hospital might have the answer. Learn more in tonight's health report. Those stories plus more when we come back.
And welcome back. 5 members of the Interior Legislative Delegation spoke with the local business community this afternoon. State Representatives Adam Wool, David Tallarico, Tammy Wilson, and David Guttenberg joined Senator Pete Kelly at today's Greater Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce weekly general membership luncheon. Now, the quintet each gave their reaction to the past 90 days and extended special sessions. Tallarico summed it up as the 3 M's: money, marijuana, and Medicaid. All agreed that state government needs to contract and new revenue needs to be sought. The state used over $2.5 billion from savings to balance the FY16 budget. A point of contention in budget talks was $700 million in production tax credits to be paid to oil producers. The majority argued that the credits were vital to continued oil production in the state, while minority members claimed the state was too strapped to pay them. In signing off on the budget, Governor Walker delayed payment of $200 million in credits through line item veto. Today, both sides of the aisle agreed that action was not sustainable.
The concern I have, and I share with you, is that we're rolling credits forward. So next year, that $200 million is theoretically going to be on top of what we have. That's a legitimate concern, and we need to address that.
Some guesstimates where we'd have a $450 million to maybe $625 million tax credit that we'll have to deal with. Well, now we can just change those numbers to $650 million to $825 million.
I think the governor's action by delaying it doesn't really eliminate it or solve it. It just kicks it down the road. It's like if you don't have enough money, you ask the bank, hey, can I make my house payment in a couple months? I'll catch up.
While the Alaska Marijuana Control Board works through regulations that will shape the pot industry in Alaska, the Fairbanks North Star Borough is moving forward on local zoning measures. Borough Planning Director Christine Nelson announced at a discussion sponsored by the Downtown Association of Fairbanks last night that a zoning ordinance will be introduced to the Assembly July 30th and is expected to be adopted in September. The ordinance allows retail establishments to operate in some areas of downtown Fairbanks. Ballot Measure 2 legalized the use and sale of marijuana, but did not address smoking clubs or boutiques. Some in attendance at last night's meeting questioned whether they would be allowed under the borough zoning ordinance. As it stands now, they would not be allowed. Fairbanks City Councilman David Pruse attended the meeting. Earlier this month, he questioned the MCB whether or not municipalities will be able to license smoking clubs.
There has been a lot of smoke in the interior from wildfires this summer, and some people have medical issues that make it hard to deal with. Monty Bowen has more in this week's Health Report.
Living in Fairbanks, we know summer may mean a lot of smoke, but this year it has been extreme at times. Fairbanks Memorial Hospital has a place to go when the smoke is heavy.
This is used as our clean air respite room, and it's open 24 hours a day where people can come in and have respite from the smoke, so it's available to public.
The hospital has to maintain clean air because they treat people with breathing problems.
FMH has one of the best HVAC systems which filters out the particles and stuff.
On days when air quality is very poor and sometimes classified as unhealthy or hazardous, FMH keeps smoke out of the building in other ways, like turning off automatic door openers.
Then they didn't open and stay open. Now you have to manually push them. But that's a good thing for you also to do in your own home, is to make sure that you close your doors and your windows and keep out those particulates.
When weather's hot and you have to shut up your house to keep the smoke out, it can get very warm inside.
Air conditioners are not something that a lot of us have up here, but also using either ceiling fans or something like that to recirculate the air and create that little bit of air motion.
People should always try to keep track of what the air quality index is.
That's the scale that tells you what the particulate concentration is. And so, like last week, I believe it was hazardous.
If you have to go out, wearing a mask might help if it's the right kind of mask.
People sometimes think is that if you put a dust mask on, that helps, but it really doesn't. It needs to be an N95, or it filters out those particulates, which is a different kind of mask than just a dust mask.
When the summer smoke ends for the season, other burning wood will be affecting the air during the winter.
It's the same thing, you know, the particulate matter, because those of us who use wood stoves and those kinds of things, that the air quality can be very bad, especially with our inversions, our temp inversions and those kinds of things that hold that closer to the ground.
This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building, and by Interior Women's Health, located on 1626 30th Avenue.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with sports and has the highlights from an extra innings game involving the Gold Panners.
Also, more updates and news from weekend sports events. That and more after the break.
And welcome back Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here this Tuesday evening with your local sportscast. The Alaska Gold Panners couldn't quite put away the Anchorage Bucs on Monday night. Game 5 of their 7-game series at Grotto Memorial Park, and this was a close game with lots of key defensive plays. This guy right here getting the out from the foul area. The Panthers were up 1, but Zane Goritz would bring in the game-tying run while breaking his bat on the play at the top of the 6th for the Bucs. John Pendergrass had a solid outing for Alaska, giving up 4 hits, striking out 4 with no earned runs. He got insurance in the bottom of the 7th when Brian Lee's double brings in 2 Panthers, and Alaska they lead 3-1. But the Bucs would tie the game again in the top of the 8th, the base knock and an RBI. In the bottom of the 9th, with the game-winning run coming home, Bucs shortstop Taylor Walls throws out Matt Galelich at the plate. The Bucs will break the tie with the sacrifice squeeze bunt. Ed Boyles gets the last K of the game for Anchorage to secure a 4-3 win in 10 innings.
Coach definitely put the sign on, and I was all for it. I thought it was a great idea, and then just committed to it and got it down. After Taylor Wall's great play at short, we had some momentum there, and then that just carried us through the later innings.
I think we played great defense today. Like you said, Malik Jones had at least 8 or 9 ground balls right at him. JD at third base had some great plays on bunts, coming down the ball. Bounce back tomorrow. I mean, I think we just come out and swing it like we did today. Pitchers come in, throw strikes, just keep swinging, keep playing hard.
Former Alaska Nanook Ryan Anderson will be shooting in the Pan American Games in a few days. Anderson, who finished his senior year at UAF, was an All-American in both air rifle and small bore. He was the national runner-up in small bore just this year. He becomes the 3rd Nanook in the last 15 years to shoot in the Pan American Games. Matt Rawlings, he won gold in air rifle back in 2011. Anderson is one of 25 shooters on Team USA. He will shoot in the 50-meter 3 position on July 19th in Toronto. And another former Nanook shooter, Mats Eriksson, needs votes to win the NCAA Elite 89 contest. You can vote twice a day for the All-American. He's in the field of 91, and the field dwindles to 30 this Thursday at 4 p.m. Visit Webster11.com to get the link to vote for Eriksson. The Elite 89 award goes to the person with the highest GPA at a national championship. Eriksson has won the award for rifle 2 years in a row. The Fairbanks 49ers and Alaska Wild hosted the Valley in weekend Legion baseball action. The 49ers took Friday night's game against Valley 4-1, and the Wild split with the Valley on Saturday. The Wild defeated Valley 11-5 in Game 1 as Mike Fitzpatrick, he led the way with a 3-for-5 2 RBI game. Valley came back for a 10-3 victory in 7 innings in Game 2. Dalton Hugel scattered 4 hits, struck out 10, gave up 1 earned for Valley. Then on Sunday, the 49ers held on for a 9-8 win over the Valley. This year, the top 8 Legion teams make it to the playoffs, and the 49ers, they are ranked 6th with a 7-3 record. The Wild are in the 8th spot with a 6-4 record after Valley's loss to the 49ers on Sunday. The Wild and 49ers are scheduled to play this Wednesday night in league action. About a week ago, we did a story featuring local fighter Cody Wareham, who went to Las Vegas to fight in the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation Championships. The competition ended on Saturday. Wareham came in with a national amateur title in her class and had a first-round bye, but she lost her opening match to eventual tournament champion Mina Grusander of Finland by armbar in 1 minute 46 seconds on Thursday. But despite the loss and the cancellation of her second match, Wareham earned the bronze medal for Team USA in her first IMMAF competition in the strawweight 115-pound class. And the summer softball season continued over the weekend with another big tournament which brought in teams from around the state. The Hesray Softball Complex was the location for the annual Golden Days Softball Tournament. 46 teams competed over the weekend. 3 Fairbanks teams won 3 of the 5 divisions. In the men's division, Team Grizz of Fairbanks won this year's title. Sons of Pitches are the men's co-ed champions, and the women's title went to Pitch Slap. The Raging Homers of Anchorage won the co-ed comp title, and AK Sports, also out of Anchorage, won the co-ed CDF title. The next softball tournament is the Fort Wainwright Open co-ed tourney on August 1st. And lastly, we end with a reminder of what's happening at the Carlson Center this week. The 55th WIO Games start tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with the toe kick event. The first day sessions on Wednesday will also feature the kneel jump, race of the torch run, and the prelims and the 4-man carry and the one-hand reach events. The night session will feature opening ceremonies and the welcome at 6 p.m. Then in the nightcap, they will have the one-hand reach and 4-man carry finals along with dance performances and the fish cutting contest. Watch KTVF Sports right here for WIO coverage throughout the week and on Saturday. And that's it for sports tonight. Your full weather forecast with Mike Schultz is up next after the break, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello everyone, Mike Schultz with you once again, and welcome back into a Tuesday night edition of the Fbx Evening News. Looking at the weather, a little rain falling out there right now as we speak. I don't think we're quite through with it yet. You'll see on the radar in just a little bit, we have some more moving in from the northeast. We'll tell you about that. Look at this photograph. Well, you talk about a still lake and a great reflection. That's what it's called. Reflections on the Denali Highway. Gary Kahlberg was able to capture this. And what a great shot that is. Nice clarity and a double reflection there. And as always, thanks to Gary, and if you have a photograph, by all means, send it to photos at ktvf11.com. We'll share it with the audience. 63 degrees the high today, 57 right now. The low last night, 53. The record high, 90 in 1918. And in contrast, 1922 dropped down to 35 for the record low. Sunrise and sunset, about 20 hours and 16 minutes of daylight, a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. On the satellite radar, once again, everything's spinning around counterclockwise, coming in from the western sections of Canada, moving across the border and helping to fuel those storms moving on down from the northeast to the southwest. A little better look as we zoom in with the latest radar. As you can see, around the Fairbanks area, this last area here is where the showers are moving through right now, and we're expecting another batch coming in from the like I said, northeast, so we're not quite through with it yet. Don't put away the umbrella. What's going on across the rest of the state? Well, over southeast Alaska, the rains are falling at Juneau and Ketchikan, and only 55 and 57 degrees there. Around the Anchorage Bowl, scattered showers, 60 degrees at Anchorage. Kodiak, showers, 56. Cloudy skies along the Aleutian Chain. Up and down the west coast, lots of sunshine with a few clouds mixed in. 62 degrees at Nome, only 40 degrees at Barrow today. Not a bad day in Fort Yukon, 72, sunshine. Lower 48 weather, quite a bit of heat once again over the western and central sections of the country. 90 degrees at Denver, the same for Salt Lake City. 100-degree temperatures in Las Vegas and Phoenix. Not quite 100 degrees, but they're expecting that tomorrow in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Not too bad at Minneapolis. Seattle, 82 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Over the eastern half of the country, again, very warm at St. Louis, 97. And not too bad in New York, some scattered showers and thunderstorms, 81 and 90 degrees at Washington, D.C. On the satellite and radar, again, high pressure sitting right about here in the center section of Texas, helping to bring all that warm air in, and that is just providing a real good slope for all this moisture to come down and just explode as it moves into that hot, humid air across the eastern half of the country, just the opposite dry over to the west. Tonight, really some wild weather going on, damaging winds, dangerous lightning, and flash flooding over a large area of the country. As you can see here, and once again, the jet stream is the culprit providing all that, as it's moving from the west to the east and way up to the north, allowing all that hot temperatures to come up from the south. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections, mostly cloudy skies to Barrow, rain showers for Nome, and more showers expected in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at, for the most part, rain showers diminishing through the day at all three locations, Haley, Delta Junction, and Fairbanks, while over southeast Alaska, it looks like periods of heavy rain for Juneau and just showers likely at Ketchikan. To the southwest we go, and again, rain at Coal Bay and Kodiak with showers for Bethel, while over the Anchorage Bowl, looking at partly cloudy skies in Anchorage, cloudy skies at Valdez, and still some lingering showers around the Homer area. So our forecast for the remainder of the night looks like this. Again, we're looking at heavy showers early with gusty winds, maybe even a rumble of thunder possible. Should be diminishing throughout the evening, although we do have some more showers on the radar. 52 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, 68 degrees. Rain showers with, once again, some smoke possible. And the 5-day outlook, as you can see here, temperatures warming back up for the weekend to the low to mid 70s right on through Saturday. Maybe some showers on Sunday, and then Monday, 72 degrees. Again, overnight lows very consistent, right around 55 degrees each night. And the showers that we have right now, like I said, should be moving out of the area sometime around 9 or 10 o'clock this evening. And then tomorrow, we should be wrapping up with partly cloudy skies.
Not too bad, and it's been a little bit, you know, what I don't understand is how the rain brings the smoke. Isn't the rain supposed to wash it away?
Well, it's the wind flow.
Oh,
what
okay.
it is.
Oh, every time it rains, don't you guys notice that? The smoke seems like it gets worse.
Trickles in. That's
what happens is the front moves in, the winds turn around, and they blow it back over us, unfortunately.
Yeah. See, you know what you're talking about. I sure don't.
All you know is it's smoky and stinky.
It is smoky and it stinks, but that's okay. It's not too bad. We can use the cool off days. It
Welcome to our campfire.
Welcome to our campfire.
All right. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Well, tonight on NBC Nightly News, the United States and Iran reached a deal today to limit its nuclear program. At the same time, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says it's a mistake of historic proportions. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webster11.com.
All righty. From all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a good night.
Good night.